I hate PETA. I hate them. I genuinely hate PETA. And I am not against, rescuing animals from abusive owners. I am not against that. I am not against, condemning zoos that treat animals badly. Copenhagen Zoo is a zoo I criticized twice for doing in a very cruel way, killing animals in front of children to show them what a dissection of an animal looks like. Those were very disgusting acts to animals. And yes, I will speak up upon animal rights because, cruelty to animals is just as wrong as cruelty to humans. But I can't stand PETA. I hate PETA. And I am not against independently owned animal rights activists. I am not against those types of people because they're very sane-sounded and they have credible science to back up their claims. For example, a couple of years back, I think it was 2013, 2014, the ASPCA was investigated by an independently owned animal rights group. The ASPCA, just like any quote-unquote kill shelter, is kind of like Disney World, if you put it this way. This is what people see, and this is what people don't see. So, this independently owned group was suspicious of that the ASPCA was actually killing animals and not rehabilitating them. So they decided to go to the place where people aren't allowed to see what goes on, and they found barrels and buckets full of spayed and neutered dogs and spayed and neutered cats in buckets, dead animals, in buckets and gallons of buckets. And they took pictures of it and they posted it on social media, and it got people furious at ASPCA. And so therefore, when the ASPCA says there are no kill shelter, nobody believes a goddamn word they say anymore, because obviously they kill animals. It's their pastime. So now the reason why I don't like PETA is because they're not an animal rights organization. They're more of an occult. They're more of an occult than an animal rights activist organization. Allow me to explain this one. PETA is sponsored by Randy Cohen. And Randy Cohen got arrested more than once for arson. Now, did he burn down regular people's houses? No, of course not. But burn down animal testing labs. Yeah. Destroy possible life-saving medications because, humane tests are done on animals. Yeah, destroy those places and make people die from, more diseases. More. Great fucking idea. So it's even a better fucking idea to accept money from this guy. And then for colleges to hire this guy so he could talk to the college students about animal rights. Fucking dumb, right? Really fucking dumb. So, besides being, sponsored by a convicted arsonist, PETA is against owning animals like pets. Like, you can't have a goldfish, you can't have a dog, you can't have a cat, you can't have a pet stay. No, you can't own an animal. They're against horseback riding because they think if you put a saddle on a horse and somebody rides on that saddle, and the horse is leading the way, that's animal abuse. No, that's not animal abuse. It's called what people have been doing for centuries to, you know, to get food, to secure their cattle. They're against humane animal testing, which means, you know, because scientifically speaking, certain animals and humans are susceptible to the same diseases. Dogs and cats are, like humans, susceptible to cancer. And so, when they come up with a new chemotherapy treatment, they test it on animals that have cancer, and if the animal improves and is cancer-free because of this new chemotherapy treatment, then they give it to human beings because they know it works. That's actually the ultimate thing you could do for animal rights, is to cure animals. Not to put them to sleep because nobody wants them, but to cure them of diseases. To get rid of rabies or AIDS or cancer, anything like that in an animal, to save their life. That's the most humane thing you could do to an animal, is to save their life from a disease like that. Instead of putting them to sleep, where you know, for the most part, that you could save them with the same medicines that you give a human being. So therefore, when I you know, it's ridiculous. They don't like those three things, but upon that, they don't like animal byproducts, which means, but yet these people still wear, you know, makeup and all that shit, which has animal byproducts in it. They're against leather. They're against anything with animal byproducts. So that could be, you know, medicine. That could be chapstick. That could be anything. That could be toothpaste, for Christ's sake. A toothbrush, anything with animal byproduct, they're against. So basically, they're against curing diseases in human beings and animals because it's quote-unquote animal cruelty. No, it is not animal cruelty, PETA. It is not animal cruelty. It's saving people's lives. But apparently, humans' lives are less valuable to you than animal lives, which is pretty fucking telling. If you think animal lives are more important than humans, I'm concerned about your mental state. I don't want you near me, because I think you might be a serial killer. I really do. I think that you want to kill all the humans and let animals roam free. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. It's a conspiracy theory, but that's exactly what it sounds like. You sound like you want to kill the whole human race and let animals roam free. And so anyway, last year, PETA made this false case against the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey's circus. Now, unfortunately, they have to close down because of what these schmucks did. They made this false claim that that they were harming the animals, and they made a conclusive case that no, they weren't. The majority of circuses around the 60s or 70s decided to change the way they treated animals. And so, you know, the animals had, you know, bigger roaming areas. They were treated very well, fed well and all that. And so anyway, apparently to PETA, you can't make animals perform tricks because that's animal cruelty. No. The majority of people, regardless if it's a circus animal, a zoo animal, or a pet, the majority of people like to train animals because it's a talent that some animals have over other animals, which is very interesting to see. And apparently animal tricks are a form of cruelty to these people. So, PETA settled the case. PETA settled the case, and I remember this happening, remembering the news about it. PETA settled the case, but they made a deal with Barnum and Bailey. They would give them a certain amount of money if they got rid of the animal, the elephant portion of the show. And Barnum and Bailey complied, and their sales started to tank because what did families go to the circus for? For the Animal Act, for the Elephant Act. But no, because PETA need their buttholes clenched all the time. And they're closing down because, no one's interested in what human tricks are out there. Because a lot of human tricks aren't interesting. They really aren't. Unless if you could, if you have like this like double jointed syndrome where you could like do stuff with your bones, that's interesting. But in general, jumping from trampolines onto ropes is not interesting. Anybody can learn how to do that. And I think, PETA wants to take the fun out of everything for people. And one of what really scares me about PETA is that they want animals in all kennels to roam free. All kennels to roam free. That includes the ones with rabies. Yeah. Great idea. Great idea, letting the ones with rabies roam free. See what happens. See how many more people get sick. There's a reason why certain animals with certain diseases have kennel lives. Because rabies affects human beings worse than it does a dog or a cat. A dog or a cat can get vaccinated for rabies. A human can't. It's very hard to cure rabies in humans. And it just boggles my mind that they want to free all the animals, free all the animals, free all the animals. You can't free wild animals, you idiots. What are you going to do? Let the lions roam free? Let the tigers roam free? Let the rattlesnakes, the king cobras, the spitting pythons roam free? More people would be dead in a day. Because these animals are wild animals. They're dangerous. They can't be near humans unless they're in cages or some type of protective shield that keeps the animals safe, that keeps people safe. I know this is a long-winded rant, but PETA really, and the ASPCA, they really need to rethink their strategies. You're not animal rights activist organizations. You're not. You're really not. You're in a cult. If people want to be a part of your cult, that's fine with me. I don't give a shit. But what really bothers me is that the people that are part of your cult, you get them to think that it's okay to harm people that own pets. You get them to think that if you see a service dog, that it's okay to beat the living shit out of a blind person. You think that this is what your people think. That scares the living shit out of me, that your people think that. That scares the living shit out of me. That they think it's okay to take away service dogs from the blind people, but then yet kill the blind person because they needed a service dog. Anyway, that was my long-winded rant on PETA and all these, like, quote-unquote, so-called animal rights activists. And some of them genuinely are animal rights activists, and I like those people. I like the people that understand that there are certain reasons why we have animal testing facilities and why animal rights are just as important as human rights. That's fine. I like those people. But PETA, ASPCA, groups like that, they scare the living shit out of me. Because they're going to be, and I'm not a religious person. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in a higher power. But if any revelation from the Bible would be true about Armageddon, these people are going to cause it. See you guys.